start. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Veena ji, will you please take us through the invocation today?
Yes, sir. Hari Om. ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम् नमोऽस्तु ते व्यासविशालबुद्धे पुल्लारविन्दायतपत्रनेत्र येन त्वया भानततैलपूर्णः प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयः प्रदीपः प्रपन्नपारिजाताय स्तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। सर्वोपनिषदो गावो दुग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्स सुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत् वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनम् देवकी परमानन्दम् कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम् भीष्मद्रोणतटाचयद्रथजल गान्धारनीलोत्पल शल्याग्राहवती कृपेण वाणि कर्णेन वेलाकुला अश्वत्थामविकर्णघोरमकर दुर्योधनावर्तिनी सोत्तीर्णा खलु पाण्डवैरणनदि कैवर्तक केशवः पाराशर्यवथ सरोजममलं गीतार्थगन्धोत्कटम् नानाख्यानककेसरं हरिकथा सम्बोधनाबोधितम् लोके सज्जनषट्पदैरहरः पेपीयमानं मुदा भूयात् भारत पङ्कजं कलिमल प्रध्वंसिनः श्रेयसे मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम् यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्र रुद्रमरुत स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थितसद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनो यस्यान्तं न विदुसुरासुरगणा देवाय तस्मै नमः देवाय तस्मै नमः देवाय तस्मै नमः.
So, welcome back again after a long break, and we will go back to chapter 10. So, chapter 10 talks about the Vibhuti Yoga, which means to be able to see the clay in every pot. So, every pot you see, you try to find the clay and you go to that source and you try and identify that the clay is what makes this particular pot. So, we have seen this in all the Advaitic texts where we see that gold is the essence of all ornaments, clay is the essence of all pots, and so on and so forth. The same upamas we are going to be using here. What has Sri Krishna done here? Krishna took us through the Rajavidya Rajaguhya Yoga, the ultimate secret, and using that, he explained this entire cosmos to us. and then realized that Arjuna is looking, Arjuna has not asked any question, but his body language is all confused. So the eyes are going here and there. He kya bol raha hai? Idhar udhar uska haath ka body language, aankh ka language. So he's looking at that and he says, okay, wait. Let me explain through my vibhutis. Right? So he explains through his vibhutis, because Arjuna also asks him, please, you are the only one who can explain this to me. And Krishna realizes that this student won't understand what I am telling him. I am trying to explain integral calculus. He has not even understood differential. तो इसको डिफरेंशियल कैलकुलस भी नहीं आता है, पहले उसको 19 का टेबल सिखाना पड़ेगा, तो पहले 19 का टेबल सिखाते हैं. So he starts by going through the Vibhuti Yoga. So now when he is going through the Vibhuti Yoga, let us see where we stopped. We will start with verse number 30. Before that, last time I had promised that I will tell you the difference between Naga and Sarpa. Right? So what is the difference? So Naga and Sarpa, basically, from a colloquial perspective, no difference. Typically, no difference. However, Naga, if you go back to the Puranic way in which the origin of beings happened, Nagas have a different origin from the Sarpas. Nagas come from Brahma, from a different Rishi lineage. And they are a species of being who have a separate loka for them. Of the 7 lokas under us, Atala, Vitala, etc., they have a separate loka where they live. Whereas Sarpas are the surface dwellers. Sarpas may be toxic, may be venomous, may not be venomous. Nagas are never venomous. So they are not venomous. However, they have special powers. Nagas have special powers. So they are a different type of beings. When we say special powers, they are a different type of beings, and therefore they have different abilities. They are differently abled in our language. Right? So that is the difference. From a colloquial perspective, however, Nagas and Sarpas, they actually mean the same. That we have to understand. We will look at Sarpa a little bit more today. So now we go on to verse number 30. Prahaladascha daityanam kalah kalayatamaham prahaladascha daityanam kalah kalayatamaham mriganam cha mrigendroham Vainateyascha pakshinam mriganam cha mrigendroham Vainateyascha pakshinam Prahladascha daityanam kalah kalayatamaham mriganam cha mrigendroham Vainateyascha pakshinam. What is a Daitya? Anybody knows? What is a Daitya? Yes, we
Rakshas.
They are demons.
Big creature.
So Kashyapa Muni is the son of Brahma. Okay. And he had multiple wives. One of the wives is called Diti. Diti means duality. He has another wife called Aditi. From Aditi are born the 12 Adityas. Aditya, the word Aditya also has been indicated to mean the sun, but actually since they are 12, we are calling them sons. Actually, they are sons of Aditi. And Daitya is the son of Diti. Right? So all those children who are born in the family of Diti, they are called Daityas. The principal ones, Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha. Hiranyakashipu left child, many children. Ahlada, Vilhada, etc., etc. The last one of them was Prahlada. Prahlad had a son. I've forgotten his name. His son Bali, Raja Mahabali, in whose returns celebration, Kerala celebrates Onam. His son Virochana, etc., etc. These are all the families of Daityas. Of all the Daityas, who is the greatest? Oh, Krishna himself says, Prahlad is the greatest. Because Prahlad is the epitome of bhakti. Yes, Raghuji.
So one constant theme I am seeing in all these examples are that each of them is an example of a leader, of somebody who everyone in that clan looked up to. So it kind of says, he's telling Arjuna, look around you, wherever you are seeing excellence, wherever you're seeing the common populace looking up to one person, one individual, there you will find Parabrahman. There you will find the embodiment of Parabrahman. He's pointing him to where to look to find Parabrahman. Is that, would you consider that a correct interpretation of all these examples? He's giving all these examples as examples of excellence, wherever you see excellence.
Don't worry, you are absolutely right. Krishna himself will say this at the end of the chapter.
Oh, okay.
He will say exactly what you have just now said. Wherever you see power, wherever you see excellence, wherever you see glory, wherever you see something which is extraordinary, know that it has come from me alone. He very categorically declares that. Right? So here we said, Daityanam Prahladam. I am Prahlad of all the Daityas. There was another wife of Kashyapa Muni, also called Danu. So from Danu were born the Danavas. Right? So these are not Rakshasas. Rakshasas were born out of another being who, it is another class of beings. They actually come from Brahma's sneeze. The first Rakshasa and the first Yaksha, they come from the beings of, they were beings created from the sneeze of Brahma. And one of them said, Rakshami, and the other said, Yakshami. Yakshas are always hungry. Right? And therefore they keep gathering. They keep gathering, they keep holding on. And Rakshasas are always trying to protect things that they own. So that is why these beings have a certain degree of greed or violence that is expressed in their behavior. When they overcome that, then they became Kubera. Kubera is also Yaksha. But he overcomes that by his devotion to Shiva. So anyway, let us get back. Prahladashasmi Daityanam. Kalayata. Kalayata is the controllers. Of all the controllers in this world, I am Kalaha. Kalaha means time. Time is the greatest controller. If you understand the nature of time, you have understood the nature of this entire moving universe, the ephemeral universe that is constantly changing. You have understood it if you have understood the nature of time. Because everything that we are seeing is controlled through the process of change. And I, as time, am the eternal controller. I am the eternal controller through the means of time. What does time do? Oh, time takes away. This moment has gone. Time takes away. Right? He says, Acharya says, Ma kuru dhanajana yauvana garvam harati nimesha kala sarvam. Nimesha is a blink of an eye. Again, the word nimish comes from the Raja Nimi, who is in the Surya Vansha, who wanted a place to stay, and he stays on the eyelashes. So when you blink, that is where the word nimish has come from. Raja Nimi. So this word, so nimish, harati nimesha kala sarvam, in one nimisha. All your pride about having wealth, having health, having people around you, all of that can vanish. That is the power of time. So here he says, of that power of change, I am the controller. I am time itself that makes this change happen. Mriganam cha mrigendroham. Mrigendra. The word mrigendra can indicate either a tiger or a lion. Mrigendra, king of all the animals, right? There was a time, if you go back to the Mahabharata, there was a time when we had lions and tigers coexisting across the entire subcontinent. I'm sure they would have carved out their own spaces, right? The Himalayas actually were a place where the lions used to abound. And if you go back to the Saptashati in Chandi, when Devi manifests, all the devatas, they come and give her things, ayudhas, right? Shiva gives the Trishul, Vishnu gives the Sudarshan Chakra, Brahma gives the Kamandalu, Himavan gives the lion. So Himalayas, they used to have lions around at that point of time. Today, the lion has got restricted only to one small corner of Gujarat. Not even the whole of Gujarat. One small corner of Gujarat, we have the Indian Asiatic lion. But there was a time when that lion was rampant across the entire subcontinent. So, Mrigendra. So now, depending upon where you stay, Mrigendra is the king of all the animals, right? So if you are in Kerala, you will say Mrigendra means elephant. So it depends upon what you want to say. But it is talking of something which is bigger, which is the largest, which is the best of all the particular class of beings that we are talking about. Of all the Mrigas, I am the Indra. The word Indra means ruler, right? The word Indra is not a specific deity. So it is the word Indra is a post. So here this word Indra, the present Indra, he's the husband of Sachi. His name is Jayendra. So Jayendra is his actually name. So that is the present Indra's name is Jayendra. And so Mriganam cha Mrigendroham Vainateyascha Pakshinam. Of all the birds, I am Vainata. Now, the word Vainata, you should be able to by now understand what is the name of the root. Where is the Vainata word coming from? We have done this a lot of times. You should be able to now start picking up. We have seen Vasudeva come from Vasudev, right? Similarly, Vainateya means what? Comes from? You're on mute, I think. Raghuji.
I am seeing here Vinata.
Yes. Patada is Googling. And he found the answer. Vinata. Correct. Right.
Yeah, it is there in the book that I am having with me.
Okay.
Vinata son.
Correct. So, Vinata. Now, Kashyapa had many wives. See, in India, in Sanatana Dharma, a lot of people have lost their gotra. They have forgotten what gotra they have come from and so on and so forth. So, whenever you don't know your gotra, the Pandit will tell you, okay, you are Kashyapa gotra. Right? Why are you Kashyapa gotra? Because Kashyapa, the word Kashyapa, the word means tortoise. What does the tortoise do? It lays multiple eggs. Right? It lays multiple eggs, produces a large number of children. Similarly, Kashyapa Muni, he had multiple wives. And all these wives were of different originators of different species. For example, he had a wife called Sarama. And from Sarama, all the dogs came. He had a wife called Surabhi. From Surabhi, all the cows came. So similarly, he had two wives who were cousins to each other. One's name was Vinata, the other's name was Kadru. Okay. Now, Vinata, she gave birth to a lot of children. And these children, they were all egg-born. Okay. And they were all egg-born and they were all multiple. They were of many of them. And they were what we will call sarpa. they were in the form of snakes. Now, the Vinata, however, she had given birth only to 2 eggs, not multiple eggs. And she started getting impatient. Why? Because Kadru would keep on making her jealous. See, I have children to come and serve me. See, and she would do that. Kadru would shout out, hey, Vasuki, go, come, fetch, give me some water. Karkottaka, come, press my legs. And she would do it in presence of Vinata. Now, Vinata would keep on feeling jealous. There is nobody to press my legs. There is nobody to fetch water for me. So she got impatient and she cracked open one egg. Now, when she cracked open the egg, the being that was formed inside was only half formed. Only the upper half had been formed. The lower half was amorphous. It was still amorphous. This being got angry and it cursed the mother and said, because of your impatience, you shall become a slave to your cousin. You shall become a slave to your cousin. And the being was going away. She caught hold of him and said, son, you are still my son. Who are you? What are you going to do? And how will I get freed from this particular curse of yours? So he said, my name is Arjuna. The word Arjuna means the light before dawn. You know, that pink light that comes before dawn? And he said, my assigned job when I was in the egg was to become the charioteer of Surya. See, it's a beautiful imagery. He is pink in color and he sits in front of the chariot. So before the chariot is visible, who will be visible? The charioteer will be visible. The pinkness that comes, that is Arjuna. And then he says, Arjuna told his mother, you will get freed when the second child is, my brother is born, but only if you have the patience to allow him to take birth. So now Vinata was aghast, but she had nothing to, she couldn't do anything. Then one day, both Vinata and Kadru were taking a bath. While they were taking a bath, the Uchchaishravas, now we have seen Uchchaishravas already, right? The horse. Yeah. Uchchaishravas flew past. When Uchchaishravas flew past, Vinata looked at it and said, what a beautiful horse. And Kadru said, yeah, but actually his tail should have been also white. Now, immediately Vinata said, no, his tail was white. He said, no, the tail was black. So then they said, okay, let us go and find out. Then Kadru said, if we have to go all the way across the sea to look at him and come back, we must have a bet. So he said, okay. The bet is whoever wins will become the slave of the other. Now already, Vinata is already cursed, right? So she automatically, she went there. In the meanwhile, Kadru told all her children, go and hide in the hairs of Uchchaishravas. So the snakes, when they hid in the hair of the Uchchaishravas' tail looked black from a distance. Vinata lost the bet. She became a slave. Now she waited patiently for the second egg to be born. The second egg cracked one day and a being came in the presence in the form of a bird. A large bird was born. This bird, it grew up immediately, became a large bird, and it bowed to its mother and said, Mother, why are you serving these snakes? So said, I lost the bet. Okay, let me find out how we can get freed. So this bird then went to the Kadru and said, what will you take to free my mother? So she said, Amrita. Bring Amrita for my children. Okay. Now, this bird, Vainateya, he flew all the way to Swargalok. As he was going to Swarga, and he went there, Amrita was protected with a large wheel and so on and so forth. It was very well protected. He managed to destroy all those barriers, pick up the Amrita, took it near his bosom, and he started to fly down. As he was starting to fly down, Indra came to try and take away the Amrita, threw his Vajra at him. The Vajra just hit him, bounced back, and went back to Indra. Bowed down and said, "Oh great being, who are you?" And why did the Vajra not affect you? He said, if the millions of years that I spent, or the thousands of years that I spent in the egg, I did tapasya, and because of which my body has become hard, I have got the ability to take this entire universe on one feather. I can bear it. So Indra was very happy, and he said, will you be my friend? He said, okay, I will be your friend. And Indra then said, I am really happy with you because you have the whole pot of Amrita in front of you, but you have not tasted one drop. Your ability to self-control. May you be granted the best of your wishes. The moment he said that, Vishnu appeared over there. And Vainateya bowed down to Vishnu and said, I have been doing tapasya for you for so many years. Please grant me my wish. So Vishnu says, okay, what is your wish? He says, I want to be above you. Okay. Here is my flagpole. Come sit on top. So Garuda Dhwaja, right? Vishnu Sahasranam, we see the name Garuda Dhwaja. When he sits above Vishnu. His height is above the Lord. Sits there, right? So Vainateya then bowed down to Vishnu and said, I liked what you did. I want to be your Vahan. Vishnu says, very good. I go finish your job and come. Now, he went and took the pot over there. All the snakes rushed. They are Amrita gaya, Amrita gaya. Garud said, hey, listen, this is Amrit, not some ordinary drink. Go take a bath. Nicely take a bath, purify yourself, come and then drink the Amrita. And he put it on a Kusha Asan, right? A Kushka Asan mein, where he put it. As soon as they went away, he took the Amrita and he took it back. Because what was the bet, or what was the task? Bring Amrit. It was not saying, give Amrit to them. So he brought Amrit and he took it away. Now the snakes came back very disappointed. They bit and tried to lick all the kusha grass. Now, if you have ever seen kusha grass, it is very sharp. It has sharp sort of spikes. So their tongues got forked. Their tongues got broken into two, and therefore snakes have forked tongues. Right? And Vainateya, another name we know him as Garuda. He is so great that when he flaps his wings, the sound of the wings makes the noise of the Samaveda. Vishnu sits on him and rides. He is the Vahan. When Vishnu came to alleviate the problems of Gajendra, he rode on Garuda himself. Right? So therefore he says, of all the birds, I am Garuda. I am the greatest. Yes.
But such a powerful person, Garuda, how could Ravan just one, twist of a sword, he could injure and kill Garuda?
No, not Garuda. What he injured, Jatayu.
Achha, that is Jatayu.
Garuda is an eagle. Garuda is an eagle. Jatayu is a vulture.
Acha, Garuda is an eagle. Okay.
And Jatayu again has a different origin. Jatayu is the son of Brahma. Jatayu is the son of Brahma. Jatayu and his elder brother Sampati, they are both sons of Brahma. They are sons of Brahma.
Oh. Acha, this is Garuda. Okay, thank you.
So you must Google the lyrics for this. There is a beautiful song written by the Sringeri Acharya, Bharati Tirtha. Just type Garuda Gamana and Sringeri. You will find the lyrics of that, and you will find the tune also. I love the song, the lyrics, and it's a very beautiful thing that he has composed. So Garuda Gamana. So Vainateyascha Pakshinam Prahladaschaski Daityanam Kala Kalayatamaham Mriganam cha Mrigendroham Vainateyascha Pakshinam. Then next verse. Pavana Pavatam Asmi Pavana Pavatam Asmi Rama Shastra Britamaham Rama Shastra Britamaham Pavana Pavatam Asmi Rama Shastra Britamaham. Jashanam makaraschasmi. Jashanam makaraschasmi. Srotaschasmi janhavi. Srotasamasmi janhavi. Jashanam makaraschasmi. Srotasamasmi janhavi. Pavana pavatam asmi. Rama shastra vritamaham. Jashanam makaraschasmi. Srotasamasmi janhavi. Pavatam. Pavatam means pavaka, he who purifies. The two purifiers, the two best purifiers are fire and wind. Wind and fire are the best purifiers, right? So, pavaka, the word pavaka means he who purifies. Fire is also called pavaka and wind is called pavana. Pavana, he who purifies. So of all the purifiers, I am the wind. Why not fire? Okay, very simple. Even when fire burns, what does it do? It leaves behind some residue. But when the wind purifies, what does it do? It takes away all the residue also. It leaves the place completely cleaned. Right? So here, therefore, he says, of all the purifiers, I am Pavana. In the Kenopanishad, we see that Indra was doing a very beautiful party after having achieved his annual target of meeting, of destroying some Asura clan. Indra has one target, no? Every year he has to go and destroy some Asuras and so on and so forth. So after they destroy, what happens? When the annual target is met, then after that in April or May, there will be some celebration, right? There will be annual party. So the annual party is being held. And in the hall, they have got all the DJ and everything has come, and they are all having nice drinks and they are all dancing. And suddenly they see a very odd-looking person peeping inside. Trespassers not allowed, right? Trespassers not allowed. Immediately, he says, fire, go, find out. Why fire? He could have sent Surya, he could have sent Chandra, he could have sent any of the stars, he could have sent any of the other deities, because he wants that place to be purified. So he says, fire. Obviously, fire got defeated and came back from that being. So then he sends whom? He sends Pavan. Wind, go. And the wind also can't purify. So then Indra is humbled and he goes in humility. And when he goes in humility, he sees that Uma Haimavati is standing over there. And he bows down to her and he says, what was that? He says, all this that you have done, achieved this target, and all this DJ that you are doing and the party that you are doing, where is this energy coming from? Where is this consciousness coming from? It is coming from me. I, Brahman, am the supplier of everything. Right? So here also, we see that consistency. First, Agni does not purify enough, then Pavan has to purify. So Pavan says, of the purifiers, I am the ultimate purifier. Of all those who know anything about weapons, I am Rama. Now here, there are a lot of interpretive discussions that happen, whether this is the Raghukula Rama or this is the Bhargava Rama. Bhargava Rama means Parshurama, right? He was born in the clan of Bhrigus. So his father was Jamadagni. Now, how Jamadagni gave birth to Parshuram and his cousin was another king called Kaushika, who then became Vishwamitra. And how they got born and all that is another interesting story. But Parshuram, because of he was born in the family of Brahmins, of the Bhrigu clan, but his essential nature is that of a Kshatriya. So Parshuram is always counted as a Kshatriya. He's not counted as a Brahmin, right? Because it is your character, your behavior that determines your Varna. We have seen that also in Bhagavad Geeta also, right? We have seen that that it is all the 4 varnas and jatis I have created based on guna and karma. We saw that earlier also. So here, Parshuram, once he, because of his Kshatriya nature, he worshipped Shiva. And when Shiva manifested, he asked Shiva for the knowledge of all weaponry, all the entire science of warfare he asked for. As a symbol of the entire knowledge, he was given this axe called the axe itself. The word axe means parashu. So he was given this axe by Shiva. And he got the title called Parashurama. Parashurama. So, for that matter, his knowledge of weaponry, and also the fact that because of his tapasya, he is also immortal. So physically, he is supposed to be immortal. And he has an interesting story with his parashu. So what happened is, he went around the entire earth 21 times, killing all those people who were a burden on the earth. And he took the blood of all of these people and he put that in the lakes in Kurukshetra. What are the lakes over there called? I've forgotten. So anyway, he filled up those lakes with the blood of 21 generations of Kshatriyas, and he did tarpan for his father and his ancestors with that blood. Having done that, his anger subsided. Now that his anger had subsided, he realized that he doesn't need all this so much land and everything that he has done. He has killed all the Kshatriyas. Now, what should I do? So he went to Indra and he told Indra, okay, please, Indra, I don't need all this. I have got it by default. Now, please take it and rule it properly. So Indra said, you have killed so many people to get this land. This land is all, if you have to give it to me, you have to do prashchitta also. For me to take it, you have to purify it by prashchitta. So he said, okay, I will do prashchitta. What do you want me to do? He said, okay, I will take this land. You cannot step on this land at night. You cannot stay on this land at night. You can roam around, but at night you have to vacate this land. You cannot stay the night in this land. So what will he do? Now he has a problem. So he went to the Sahyadri mountains and he took his axe and he threw his axe into the sea and he pulled up land. Basically, he did what we will call today reclamation, right? So he reclaimed the land from a place called Gomantak. Today we call it Goa, right? From Goa, Gomantak, right to the end of Kerala, the entire strip of land has been pulled out from the sea, reclaimed from the sea. And Parashuram is supposed to live there at night. He roams around this entire world, wherever he has to go, but he comes back and stays in that land which he created. So that is why Kerala is called God's own country. He created it. It was not created by Brahma. It was created by Parshuram. So of all the people who know the weaponry, who know Shastra, I am Rama. I am Parshuram. Right? We see Parshuram having destroyed Kartavirya Arjuna. Kartavirya Arjuna himself was actually nothing but an emanation of the Sudarshan Chakra, having come down into the earth as an avatar. The energy of Sudarshan Chakra, for another reason, again, these are all stories within stories, but then Kartavirya Arjuna, king of the Haihayas, he became 1,000 hands and he had to be killed. And only Parshuram could have killed him, only Vishnu could have killed him because he was nothing but the energy of his own weapon, Sudarshan. So therefore, Parshuram. Then we see him in the next yuga with Ramachandra, right? The Raghuram. We see him with the Raghukul Rama, where after the Sita wedding, after the Sita Swayamvar, when the bow was broken, then Parashuram appeared over there and said, my Guru, my Ishta Devata, Shiva, his bow you have broken. Now this is Vishnu's bow. You break this also and show me. I don't believe that a young chap like you could have done that. Right? You won't be able to bend this bow also. And Ramachandra, obviously, he bends it. That is a point where the avatar of Parashuram finishes its job and transfers the powers of that avatar to the next avatar, which is Ramachandra. Right? And then we also see Parashuram come back during the Mahabharata, because Bhishma had to learn warfare, and his mother Ganga took him to Parashuram to learn warfare. So we see him persistently through a multiple ages. We see him to be there and playing a role.
He also taught Karna and then cursed him for having.
Correct. So he's the guru of Dronacharya, he's the guru of Bhishma, he's also the guru of Karna. Pavana pavatam asmi Rama shastru pritamaham Jashanam makaraschasmi Srotasam asmi Janhavi. Jashanam, Jasha means those who live in water, aquatics. Of all the aquatics, I am the Makara. Makara here means, okay, there are two meanings to Makara. Makara is a crocodile, but it also means there is a mythical animal, which is water living being. It has a face of a crocodile, the body of a whale, and so on and so forth. We'll not get there. Makara here, very simple, crocodile. Obviously, a crocodile inside a river, you don't have a whale, right? You will have the largest being that will be there in the water will be a crocodile, and a crocodile is fairly powerful inside the water. There is a saying in Bengali which says, "Don't fight with a crocodile when you get into the water." Right? So why? Because the crocodile is stronger there. So therefore, here he says, "I am the crocodile." Of all these that flow, Srota Asmi, of all that flow, I am Janhavi. What is Janhavi? What is the meaning of the word Janhavi? Any idea? What is your book
Ganga,
saying?
because she was as a daughter of Rishi Janva, what?
Okay.
Daughter of.
So what happened is Ganga. Imagine, okay, visually, just imagine this. Bhagirath is on a chariot. He has created a canal, a full channel through which the river can flow. And in that channel, he is going in front in a chariot, blowing the shankh, and Ganga is following him from behind. Right? The waves of the turbulent waves of the river are following. Now the waves of the river, as they are following, they become very ebullient. They become very joyous, and they overflow the boundaries. And as they overflow the boundaries, what will happen? Anything that is around the channel, what will it do? It will get washed away. Now there was a rishi called Janhu. And Janhu was sitting over there with his students, and Ganga, in her joy, in her exuberance, she just came and washed away the entire ashram. Rishi Janhu got very angry. He took his kamandal and he swiped up the whole of Ganga into his kamandal. Now his kamandalu is holding the whole of Ganga, and he took it and he drank it up. And he said, "Now show me all your exuberance." Now, Bechara Bhagirath, just imagine. First he has to propitiate Brahma. Then Brahma has to tell him that, okay, you have to bring Ganga down. Then he has to propitiate Ganga. Then he propitiates Ganga. Ganga says, "Yes, I am ready to come down, but somebody has to hold me." So he propitiates Shiva. Shiva holds Ganga but traps her. So again he propitiates Shiva. Then Shiva releases her. Now he is going with her, and Janhu follows her. Now what will happen? So he goes and bows down to Rishi Janhu and says, "Please release her. Otherwise, all my tapasya is useless." Janhu also takes pity on him and says, "Okay, I will release her. But I can't take her out from my mouth, because if I take her out from my mouth, she will become impure." Right? When we say jhuta is not what you take in. It is when what comes out of your mouth that makes it jhuta. So what does he do? He takes her out from his ear. And she flows out from his ear. And in respect, she agrees to be called the daughter of Rishi Janhu in the name of Janhavi. So she is Janhavi. So of all the srotas, of all that which flows, I am Janhavi. I am the river Ganga. So that is, let me see, 32.
So beautifully you explained. The scene very nice.
Okay. Next verse we will have to do later because that is going to take a longer time. So we will end here today. Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om